Hey everyone, about a year ago I wanted to read the Anna Karenina Fix, but I noticed that I would want to read all the primary books that she was referring to first. So I started this Russian Lit project, and it took me about until now to finish this. But now I can talk about the whole project, my thoughts on it, and also the Anna Karenina Fix, which was the original motivation. Now, what is the Anna Karenina Fix? It's basically a sort of memoir style book where Viv Groskop talks about her experience with Russian literature and the life lessons she learned from them. While doing so, she summarizes 11 works of Russian literature, talks about the authors, their lives, and how the books reflect and affect and touched her or related to her at different points in her life, and also the meaning of the books in general. So it gives you an overall view of all of these books, of the lives of the authors, an idea of Russia, and an idea of her life in connection with Russian literature and Russian language, and with being Russian, which she isn't. That's also part of the book. Now, do you have to read all those 11 works to read the Anna Karenina Fix? No, you don't. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed having read all the works beforehand. Like I said before, she summarizes the plots of the books, so if you haven't read them, you can still follow her book. But for me, I am really sensitive to spoilers, and there were some books on that list which I thought I would want to read at some point in my life. So for me, this was as good an excuse as any to finally get down and read all those books. In addition to that, she really takes away the scariness of big, daunting Russian literature and pointing out how it is more the joy of the reading the book than the analysis and the snobbiness that comes with big Russian work. So that actually helped me reduce the expectations I had of these books and of my reading those books. So when I set out to do this project, I said I wanted to look for as many audiobooks as I could find, and also for German translations. I didn't really succeed in that. I found some books in German translations, some in English, some on audio, some in paper, and Requiem I only found on YouTube. So that's the 11 works. I have a Goodreads list where all those 10 works, because I didn't count Requiem, the poems, and I put them in a separate Goodreads list. Since she is talking about her experiences with the books, I found it very interesting having read all those books and compare them to my experience, which were completely different, but interesting to compare with hers. I found most of the books not very good. I didn't like them. I was glad I finally read them, but a lot of them just didn't really do anything for me, especially Crime and Punishment, War and Peace, Leo Tolstoy. I didn't like Anna Karenina when I read it way before this project. And War and Peace I started before, and reading it now was torture and painful. And the only way to get through this was just to keep reading because I wanted to do this project. And I really enjoyed her aspect of all these stories and all these how to read this and how her experience was with that. So I think this added to the experience of the book, and it really helped me get a different idea of how to read the Russian literature, what to get out of it, and also give me permission to say, I don't like it, this is not for me. There were some which I really enjoyed, like Evgeny Onegin. I liked that one. Also A Month in the Country, that was a wonderful play to read. I enjoyed some of the books, but some I didn't. And I found it very interesting, especially for the books that I didn't enjoy, where she said what they did for her and also what she saw in them. So for me, this was a second interpretation and idea of how to read and view the text that I had my opinions on. And that actually added to the Anna Karenina Fix for me. So I enjoyed this book a lot more because I could bring my own experience with the literature to the book. But like I said, you don't have to do that. For me, it was just something that I wanted to do. I'm very proud that I managed to do that. I'm glad I ticked off all these big chunky Russian books that somehow feel like you should have read them for whatever reason. I don't even know where that feeling comes from. But I am so glad that I did that, and I might not pick up a Russian literature anytime soon. Overall, I really enjoyed the Anna Karenina Fix, not only for making me read all these books, but also for the information she gave in there, for her life lessons, for her interpretation and interaction with the books and the Russian life and Russian literature and Russian language. And yeah, it was a fun read. I really enjoyed listening to the audiobook. I have to mention that I listened to the audiobook. She reads it herself and she really does a good job at that. So let me know in comments if you have read the Anna Karenina Fix, if you like Russian literature, if you have read anything of those big chunky must-read Russian things that we all think we have to read, or is that just me? I don't know. Let's talk in comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.